The ship Aurora's path moved quietly through deep space. It was a small exploration vessel, old, dependable, and human-built. Its engines hummed softly, echoing through metal corridors like the heartbeat of something alive. Inside, 5 humans worked together. They were explorers, not soldiers. Their mission was simple: map the outer regions, look for signs of old colonies, and record whatever they found. For months, the stars had looked the same, cold and far away. But on this day, something different appeared. The communications officer lifted their head from the console. "Captain," they said, frowning, "I'm picking up something strange." The captain turned from the viewing window. "What kind of strange?" "It's a signal." "Weak but steady. It's coming from that planet ahead." The pilot adjusted the ship's position. On the screen, a gray world appeared, half covered in clouds with deep cracks like old scars across its surface. No sign of life, no cities, nothing but rock and silence. "Could be interference," the engineer said. "Or a beacon," added the science officer. "The signal pattern looks human." That made everyone stop. Human signals hadn't been found this far from settled space. The oldest colonies were hundreds of light years behind them. This world wasn't even on the charts. The captain looked at the readings for a long time. Then they said quietly, "Plotted descent. Let's take a closer look." The planet's surface was calm when they entered the atmosphere. Wind brushed the hull, and fine dust rose in long red trails below them. They landed in a wide valley surrounded by cliffs of dark stone. The ground shimmered faintly like it was dusted with glass. Once the engines powered down, the captain stood. "All right, team. Standard protocol. Suits on, air filters active. We'll check the source of that signal." They stepped out into the open. The air was thin and cold but still breathable, and there it was, a low, repeating hum coming from the distance. It pulsed through the ground, slow and steady like a heartbeat under the soil. The crew followed the sound. Their boots crunched over broken stone and twisted metal. The valley opened into what looked like ruins, towers and arches half buried in dust. At first they thought it was alien, but when the engineer brushed sand off a fallen wall, letters appeared. English letters. Faded but clear. "Human construction," the engineer said softly. "But this alloy isn't ours. It's mixed with something else." The science officer scanned the structure. "Radiation levels are low. Power source still active, though." After all this time, the pilot looked around, voice quiet. "If this was a human colony, it's been abandoned for centuries." The captain studied the symbols on the wall. "Maybe not abandoned," they said, "just forgotten." They found the source of the signal inside a half-collapsed building. It was a wide chamber with a domed ceiling. Strange machines lined the walls, part human, part unknown. In the center stood a single terminal, covered in dust but still glowing faintly blue. The communications officer approached carefully. "It's transmitting on an ancient frequency," they said, kneeling to inspect it. "Older than anything still in use." The captain nodded. "Can you play it?" The officer pressed a control. The hum shifted, and then a voice filled the air, soft, calm, and unmistakably human. "We are still here." The words echoed through the chamber, repeating every few seconds. The pilot whispered, "That's not possible. No human outpost should be this far out." The science officer stared at the machines, unless they weren't just exploring. Maybe they were building something new here. They began to explore deeper into the structure. The corridors were filled with dust, yet lights flickered to life as they passed. The system seemed to respond to their presence, warming up after a long sleep. The engineer traced cables that disappeared into the walls. "This whole place is waking up," they said. "It's like it knows we're here." The captain touched one of the glowing panels. "Or maybe it's been waiting." Everywhere they went, traces of the past lingered. Human writing mixed with alien symbols, handprints carved into metal, a mural showing people standing beside strange, tall beings under twin suns. The crew spoke little. The air felt heavy with history. Back in the central chamber, the communications officer adjusted the frequency. "I think there's more to the message," they said. "It's not just a loop, it's encoded." The captain leaned in. "Can you decode it?" "I'll try." While the officer worked, the others examined the machinery. The science officer found storage pods filled with preserved soil samples and old data chips. The engineer found a power core still humming faintly, though no one could explain how it was still running. "It's like this place doesn't age," they said. "Maybe it was designed that way." the captain replied. As hours passed, something changed in the atmosphere. The ground gave off a low vibration. Dust lifted from the floor as if stirred by invisible hands. The lights on the walls pulsed in slow rhythm with the message. "We are still here." Then, without warning, another line of words appeared on the main console, ones the system had never shown before. The engineer stepped closer. "Captain, it's reacting to us," the captain frowned. "Show me." The console's symbol shifted, and then the voice came again, clearer now, almost alive. "We are still here. You have returned." A silence followed. The crew looked at each other, unsure whether to be amazed or afraid. The captain finally spoke. "Keep recording. Whatever this is, it's part of our story." They stayed until the artificial light outside began to fade. When they finally returned to their ship, the sky above the valley was glowing faintly blue, like the whole planet was stirring. From orbit, they could see the ruins forming faint patterns, circles, lines, shapes too perfect to be random. The communications officer continued to work on the signal, decoding layer after layer of ancient code. Finally, as they prepared to leave orbit, the signal changed one last time. "We are still here. They are coming back." The message ended. The console went dark. The crew sat in silence for a long moment. The pilot was the first to speak. "Do you think it's a warning?" The captain shook their head. "No, it doesn't sound like fear. It sounds like hope." The science officer looked down at the planet. Maybe those colonists became something more. Maybe they evolved with whoever built those ruins. Maybe, the captain said softly, they became the bridge between us and them. As Aurora's path left orbit, the crew watched the planet grow smaller in the viewport. The ruins below shimmered faintly, lights flickering like a heartbeat in the dust. No one said much, but everyone felt the same quiet awe, the kind that made space feel both endless and alive. They had found proof that humanity's reach went farther than anyone had believed. Not through war or conquest, but through creation and connection. And somewhere out there, beyond the edge of known space, something or someone was returning. Later, as the crew prepared for jump, the communications officer looked up from the console. "The signal stopped," they said. The captain nodded. "Then our part begins." The ship turned toward the dark horizon, engines lighting up the void with soft blue flame. As it vanished into faster-than-light travel, the signal replayed one last time, faint, but still there, echoing through the stars. "We are still here. They are coming back." The crew didn't hear it, but somehow they felt it, and across the quiet galaxy, old systems flickered awake as if the universe itself had remembered something it had long forgotten, that the story of humanity was never truly over.